We will now be talking to Pule Mabe from the ANC on another story. Mr. Mabe, it's great to have you here on the agenda. Welcome to the program.
Yes, a morning or good day and good day to your listeners.
Let's talk about the meeting and how long is the meeting expected to last?
Well, the meeting today really is to discuss policy discussion documents, to process discussion documents for the policy conference that is expected to be held around June, July this year. So this special NEC will take, is expected to take the whole day because we're going to be dealing with a number of all those policy discussion documents, economic transformation, communications and the battle of ideas, balance of forces, education, health, science and technology, and organizational renewal, archives, effectively documents, policy discussion documents, effectively drawn out of the different subcommittees that the African National Congress has got, and allow this special NEC to process those, and once processed, make sure that they now go to structures for further engagement before we could have the policy conference.
So now, Mr. Mabe, have you discussed the step-aside policy of the ANC, and is it likely to be discussed in the wake of the re-election of Zandile Gumede as the eThekwini Regional Chairperson while still facing criminal charges?
Well, remember that the step-aside is not a standalone policy. It will find expression under organizational renewal, where we deal with restoring the credibility, integrity, and the standing of the organization. So it would not be a standalone policy. I've seen that many of you in the media have raised it as if it's a standalone policy there. No. Step aside will be discussed or expressed under organizational renewal. What the organization will have to then say is that have we done enough to make sure that we implement, because we must first take stock of the things we would have said at the 54th National Conference, do an assessment of those, look at what have been challenges as it relates to the implementation of some of those resolutions, reflect on them, and then as part of these discussions, put forward proposals which we think will serve to strengthen those, whether it's on stepping aside or any other policy positions that the African National Congress may have in the pursuance or implementation of its own resolutions.
Mr. Mabe, but why was Ms. Gumede even up for election to begin with?
Well, she's a member of the ANC in good standing. I don't think if you read the step-aside guidelines, there is nowhere where they say when you have stepped aside, you cannot stand for a position. The duty that the ANC must do is to look at all of that, say, but the person who has stepped aside remains a member of the organization in good standing, and the organization, a member of the organization in good standing is entitled to certain privileges. I mean, for instance, when you are a member of the ANC, you can elect and be elected for a position. So you have got to make sure that all these different policy positions of the ANC also tie up back to the Constitution. The reason why these comrades have been able to stand is because the guidelines don't say when you have stepped aside you can't stand. Remember that. So you are asking it as if the guidelines say when you have stepped aside you cannot stand, and that is not written in the guidelines. Read the guidelines. But we say that when you are criminally charged or indicted to appear in a court of law for serious crimes, you will be expected to step aside while that case is ongoing. Now, stepping aside, so as we clarified that, because it's a working document, as we clarified that at the time, we had not had the situation we have now. Now, we have got to go back, reflect, and say, out of experiences that we have gone through, what are the things that we now need to tighten or strengthen?
Mr. Mabe, now let's talk about what does the ANC make of new information that two witnesses have dropped their statements in the murder case faced by ANC Mpumalanga newly elected treasurer Mandla Msibi, who had since stepped aside.
Can you repeat that?
Let's speak about the two witnesses that, of course, withdrawn, of course, from the case the murder case that is faced by the Mpumalanga newly elected Treasurer General. There's two witnesses that have withdrawn. What does the ANC make of this?
Well, I mean, if there are developments that formally come to the organization, because we have not received any formal report ourselves, there's a provincial structure there. Our deployees will be able to give us an update if there's anything that require us to be aware of. If there are things that come to our attention that require us to be aware of and which necessitate for us to make public comments, we will do so. But as matters stand now, the province is seized with the matter. If there are issues that the province wants to elevate to national, they will do so.
Now, Mr. Mabe, I know the special NEC for the ANC, as you've rightfully mentioned also earlier, that a range of issues will be discussed there. And I know probably the issue on renewal of the party is likely to also take center stage. I know the conversation has been had at length for a while now. What do you think the ANC is going to do differently to ensure that this comes to fruition?
Just repeat that. I didn't understand that quite well.
Well, I'm saying that you've just laid out that the special NEC, a lot of issues are expected to be discussed there. And I'm sure the issue as well of renewal of the ruling party is expected to take center stage. Talk to us, because renewal has been a conversation that has been had for a while now on end. What is the ANC going to be doing differently to see that this goal of renewal comes to fruition?
Well, I don't think, maybe the question should be not what is it that the ANC is going to do. What is it that the ANC is doing differently? Because the ANC is already doing something. You know, the ANC cannot always commit to doing stuff. The ANC must also have the guts and courage to say, this is what we are doing. In January of this year, at the back of the 110th anniversary, in the NEC statement pronounced on our behalf by President of the African National Congress, President Cyril Ramaphosa, we did say to the public that we are going to be establishing the Renewal Commission. Fast forward, we have already pronounced ourselves on the establishment of that Renewal Commission. Yesterday, led by President Ramaphosa, again here in Mangaung, we launched the national campaign, Letrima, to be able to strengthen our social compact for renewal with the people. Now more on volunteer work, making sure that our people could get down to work. They could participate in the closing of those potholes where they live. They could be part of programs to remove waste, make sure that their communities are better, safer, and decent. And we must say we were encouraged by the people of the support given by the people of Mangaung, who really braved the rain and still came to attend the launch yesterday. And you could see the commitment on their part to want to participate in doing some work to make their communities even much better. We will be taking this program in the next week to KwaZulu-Natal, where all ANC officials will be present, again doing exactly the same thing. But the KwaZulu-Natal feature will also have a solidarity component. We have since made all our provincial and regional offices to also carry forward the task of drop-off centers, where where people who want to deliver stuff as part of solidarity or supporting the people of KwaZulu-Natal who were ravaged by floods over the past week, those things could also be delivered when the ANC goes to KwaZulu-Natal. The Progressive Business Forum has also been doing similar work, mobilizing business to be able to support that effort. This is also part of our own renewal, because an organization that wants to renew itself cannot do it alone. Renewal, the effective renewal, can only happen in solidarity with the people. The fact that the ANC is now taking that kind of a lead, it means it appreciates that it can only achieve this noble agenda when it works together with the people. Its organization will become better. The work it does, it will become better. Actually, one of the statements we say, one, we are not leaving anyone behind. The other one that we say is that we want to serve our communities better.
Pule Mabe is the ANC National Spokesperson. Thank you so much indeed for your time.